she pitched me a story. She's a born nerd. She was born for this, but it is her first time getting on stage telling a story. She is a videographer, she's a writer, and she's sexy as fuck. Please welcome our first storyteller, Krissy Eliot.
Hello.
Okay. Got it. All right. So, I'm ready. I can't see any cards or anything, but I assume I'm good. All right, I'm gonna start. Hey guys. I am a word nerd. I fucking love it when people create their own vernacular for things, like on TV shows and stuff like that, you know, like Alienese from Futurama, and you've got, you know, Dothraki from Game of Thrones. And of course you have Klingon. Nobody clapped for that, that's weird, okay. So, I'm a writer for a living, and I was recently sent out on a journalistic assignment to cover the Orgasmic Meditation Conference thrown by the orgasmic meditation organization OneTaste. And it was being held in the Oakland Scottish Rite Center, big place, kind of old, wall-to-wall red carpeting, big auditorium, kind of nice. And I mean, I knew some stuff about OneTaste, but I mean, I knew that they like stroked each other's like clits and called it rumination. And I also knew that this smoking hot babe, Nicole, founded the thing. But other than that, I wasn't well versed. So it was a 3-day conference. And on the first night, they were having a live demonstration. So Nicole walks out into this big auditorium in a tight little salmon-colored dress. And she tells her staff to roll out this massage table. It's covered in pillows. And this other little blonde that looks just like her twin, right, just walks on out, and she just takes off her pants, and she climbs up onto the table, and she spread eagles. And I just moved 2 or 3 months ago from Maryland. And I knew that you guys were more open here. I just didn't know that it was spread eagled open. So Nicole puts on a pair of latex gloves, okay? She kicks off her heels, puts on a black apron, okay? Sticks her fingers in some lube, and just starts stroking this girl's clit. Now, I'm okay with this, right? I watch porn. You know, I may have come from a small, like, Christian town, but I was fine, okay? I was a little nervous, but I was fine. So, while she's doing this, all of a sudden I hear somebody down below call out their feelings, all right? Now, what they're supposed to do at this orgasmic meditation conference is call out the emotions they're feeling while they're watching this clit being stroked, all right? So I hear down a couple rows from me, I feel a heat in my chest. And then I feel, over here, somebody feels a tingling in their neck. And then all of a sudden, this big, burly guy sitting right behind me leans forward. I feel his breath on my neck, and he goes, "I've got a tingling in my balls." Now, I know you guys are open, but I wasn't sure if you were so open that I would have a pair of balls on my neck in like 2 seconds. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I have to get the fuck out of here. Oh my God, what am I doing? What have I gotten myself into? And then I listen a little harder. And everyone around me is talking about what's going on using their specific vocabulary. Yes, the OneTasters had their own vocabulary for the stroking, okay? And I thought, wow, okay, well maybe, I do like words. Maybe I'm a little into this. So that night, I go home and I tell my smoking hot Greek boyfriend that he has to come with me the next day, okay? He has to come with me, I have to learn all about this. And he goes, nah. I said, come on, sweetie, you have to come with me. You can't just throw me into this. I can't do this by myself. I need to learn about these words. Come on, you have to come. Come. And he goes, nah. And finally I say, look, I do not want a stranger to touch my clitoris. Come with me, okay? Come with me, please come. And he goes, well, maybe no. So I had to make a decision. Do I give up on my love of words? Or do I go deep into the ohm? What do I do, guys? Do I go deep? So the next day, I find myself in a room with 134 other nests, okay? They call them nests. And they're little tiny collections of pillows that the women lay in, all right? There are 134 other women there with me, and I'm lying spread-eagled with no pants on next to an old couple who can't get comfortable, who keeps smacking me in the face with pillows, all right? And I have the scent of 134 other pussies in my nose. Now, I don't know if you smelled this before, but it is impressive to say the least, all right? So, the most impressive thing, though, for me, was the fact that I had found this dark-eyed, dark-haired stranger that looked just like Dave Navarro. And his name was Monty, and he was cuddled up next to me, and he was staring straight at my naked vulva. There's this OneTaste coach, and she's walking around, and she's teaching us how to do the thing with her vernacular. And she said, I want you to safe port your partner. And by safe port, I mean I want you to tell her exactly what you're going to do to her before you do it. All right. So Monty leans forward, looks me in the eyes, and he says, I'm going to put my hands on you now, is that okay? And I suddenly felt all the small town girl nervousness just trickle out of my pussy. And I said, yes, that's okay. And the coach says, all right, you're going to massage her thighs with grounding pressure. The grounding pressure should then move blood up her thighs into her vagina. And it did, and he massaged, okay, and then it was fantastic, and then she says, now I want you to notice, begin the noticing. And before I could even comprehend what this could be, he cocks his head to one side, looks right at my pussy, and he goes, your outer lips are soft, your inner lips are closed, and your inner labia are a soft rose color. Yes, they are. So then, it's time to put on the gloves, right? So everybody's putting their gloves on all around and sticking their fingers in lube, and the coach goes, put your left index finger in the upper left-hand quadrant of her clitoris and start to stroke. All right. So we start stroking. And he's stroking, and he's stroking, and I start moaning, and moaning, and moaning, and then everyone around me is moaning, and moaning, and moaning, and then I'm fucking coming, and coming, and coming, and fuck yeah, I don't know you at all, you fucking stranger, and then the 15-minute timer goes off and the ohm is over. But it's time to share frames. What frames are moments of emotion and feeling that you've had during the ohm. So... lesson. He whispers in my ear, he says, "There was a moment when I felt your pussy suck my finger inside of it." And I said, "There was a moment when I wanted to fuck." So afterwards, I'm thinking, I have the rest of the weekend, I'm thinking, I don't think I know these words well enough. And I think I need to learn them some more. And I did. 4 more times that weekend. Monty and I got to know each other very well. So I'm driving home, the weekend's over, and I start to experience what the OneTaste people call tumescence. Okay? Tumescence is a state of arousal beyond your comfortable range. In other words, I was horny as all hell. So I storm into the house and I say, "Boyfriend, I am very mad at you. You made me go through this whole fucking weekend by myself, and you need to be taught a lesson. A vocabulary lesson." So I tell him to go into the bedroom and lay in the nest, and he says, "What's a nest?" And I say, "Shut up!" And I tear off his fucking clothes, and I tear off my fucking clothes, and I crawl across the bed, and I start to kiss his neck, and his chest, and his abs, and then I drag my lips up his hot, hard cock, and just as he thinks I'm about to take him inside my mouth, I lay down next to him, and I say, "Notice me." And he goes, I see you. I said, "No, look at my vulva." And he goes, "Okay." And I said, "Tell me something about it." And he goes, it's rosy colored." I said, "So I'm told." So I grab him by the hair and I shove his head down right next to my pussy and I tell him to find the upper left-hand quadrant. And he does, with his tongue. And so his tongue starts stroking, and stroking, and stroking, and I start moaning, and moaning, and moaning, and then I share a fucking frame and say, "I wanna fuck." All right? And then I fuck him, and I fuck him, and I fuck him, and I tell him to come with me, come with me, come with me, and he finally fucking does.
I hope it's okay. I put some total fucking babes in the show tonight.